Today we are going to start with a new topic named cybersecurity. And this topic is important from the GS paper 3 under internal security. So let's move towards the topic step by step. So GS3 analysis, frameworks, threats and resilience. So we have to learn first about the cybersecurity. Then we have to know what is cyberspace. According to the National Cybersecurity Policy, the cyberspace means there is a space. This is a space. This space where an interaction is happening with the three. There is a people, there is a services and software. So by interacting with these three, a space is created and this space is known as cyberspace. So it is supported by the worldwide distributions of ICT devices, information communication technology devices and the networks. And what is cybersecurity? According to the definition which is given by IT Information Technology Act 2000, it is protecting. Cybersecurity means protecting. Already we have decided the what is cyberspace, communications, devices, networks, or the resources which we are having, or data. This is known as cybersecurity. So what we do here, we have to protect, we have to shield the data from unauthorized access, use disclosures, its use, disruptions and modifications or the destructions. This is known as cybersecurity. So currently we have seen that from the earlier point, land and the sea were only the two important fronts where the war was fought. But from 1911, what we have seen, we have discovered the planes before that, but the planes were used in the war. So at that point of time, a third front has been opened, which is known as air, where aeroplane were used in war. And after that, the space. The space means we are using the satellites, and these satellites form an important and critical infrastructure for our cyberspace. How? Earlier, USA. What USA has done? USA said that any aggression towards over the satellites of USA will be considered as a aggression towards the USA and the national security. So they have already in their doctrine they have planned that land, sea, air, and the space, and any aggression towards this space will be considered as a war. And currently we are also India, we are also focusing on the mission Shakti, where we are launching a missiles, attacking the another enemy missiles is like that. And the fifth, we are currently seeing the cyberspace. Why? It is the fifth domain of the warfare, or the fourth, sorry, third, fourth, fifth, barabar? Fifth. We have seen that why countries are investing in the cyberspace. Considering the availability and the things, for example, the China has recognized that we can't fought the war with USA in the face to face. So what they have decided, why can't we invest in these technologies which are easily available? We can make them and bring a strong hold on it. So they are investing in it, and the various examples are no geographical constraints, because what we have seen that it transcends the physical borders. Attackers can launch strikes from anywhere. A person sitting in the one country can launch an attack on the another country. Low cost entry. Already what we have seen that the technology is accessible. It's very accessible and it is easily to train. It empowers the individuals and the non-state actors and not just the nation states. So what we have seen, the non-state actors are also involved in it. For example, the terrorist organization or the organized crimes, Hawala, they are using it. Terrorist. How the terrorists are using it? The terrorists are using this for to create fears, to create terror, to recruit, to finance. Okay, they are using it. It's a low cost entry. Anybody can enter in the cyberspace. And the third is attribution. A person sitting here will not able to find out from where the attack has been happened, like from which country a certain attack has been done. So it is a no contact war where tracking origins and the retaliating is nearly impossible. How we can retaliate if we don't know from where it has evolved? So these are the definitions which we will see. The cybercrime. Cybercrime, who are the actors in it? The cybercrime individuals or the rogue groups. We have seen the example like digital arrest. So what is this motive? The motive is financial theft. Currently, we are focusing more on the digitalization using the UPIs. So what they do, and the privacy is also compromised. And the examples of the cybercrime is wishing. Wishing means some peoples we have seen that they spam. They are calling from the voice, from the phone, and asking about the details of the credit cards. And once you give the details of the credit cards, the whole money will go away. And the tab nabbing. What is tab nabbing? Suppose we are opening a Windows and one tab is open. So it will directly move to the another tabs. Like few other tabs will get opened. So this is tab nabbing. So what is cyber espionage? Cyber espionage, it was first seen from the reports which was given by the Edward Snowden, who was working in the USA. And later, by giving that detail, he has to flee the country to the Russia. So the state or the corporate entities are involved in the cyber espionage. The espionage means what? Espionage means gathering the information about a person, about the country, what they are using, what they are doing. For example, the intellectual property rights also are included in the cyber espionage. Already you have seen the Snowden example. And the third, we have seen the how the terrorists are using the cyber space. Terrorist organizations, what are their motives? To generate fear in the people, to recruit the people, having fun transfer. It can be done very easily. That's why they are not attacking the cables, the under cables which are passing through the sea areas, or plan physical violence. So what are the examples? Post 2008, what we have seen, the attacking the digital networks and the cyber warfare. It means the states are using cyberspace for what? For the war. It can sabotage the infrastructure to gain the military advantage. So, what is the example of the sabotaging the infrastructure? The famous example is related to the Israel. Israel Mossad. What Mossad has done? They have attacked the Iran's nuclear program and completely damaged and sabotaged their infrastructure to gain the military advantage. Or few examples we can see the denial of the services. Once we are trying to open the specific website, it will show the sign of the DDoS, or in the government also in the ministries sites. Sometimes we find. So what is the India's digital evolution? How it has evolved? So in 1975, National Informatics Centers got evolved for the Government IT solutions. Step by step, what we have done, government, then we have seen the governance, then e-governance. So, what is the e-governance? Means every district will be connected to the state, and this few the states will be connected to the center. That's how it is done in the e-governance. And the local levels are also getting involved, okay, by the Bharat plan optical fibers we have seen. In 1998, what you have seen that new internet policy paves for the multiple internet service providers. I- This policy paved the way for the new internet service providers. So we can get the more internet services. And currently we are in the vulnerability zone. Why? We are focusing on the national e-governance plan, smartphone, mass broadband, and the citizens which are using, some people having the two or three phones also we have seen. So current scenario we are focusing more on the digitalization. That's why the chances of protecting the security has cyber security has increased. So now we will see the critical information infrastructure. So what is critical information infrastructure? Critical means that once this infrastructure gets damaged, it is hard to recover, and the damage will not just impact the financial but the economic lives, geographical areas, and the country's image. For example, if there is an infrastructure and it gets sabotage, suppose a satellite is working, uh, for example, the satellite is of communication, gets stopped, then what will happen? An economic collapse will happen in the financial sector, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, etc., or the telecom blackout we can find. These economic collapses, we can also see the loss of lives. It is comparable to the war and the disaster, and it will create a national humiliation. If there is a national humiliation, what will happen? Who is going to invest in India? How our image to the world, that India is not able to protect its cyber security. So critical infrastructure involves transportation. Transportation, what we see, railways or airways, right? Second is telecommunication. The most of the service providers are private sector, and public we see BSNL, MTNL, etc. For the finances, stock exchanges, BSE, NSE, right? And the energy sector, it is a very critical. What will happen if there is a sabotage or the damage in the power plants? There will be a sabotage, then lack of electricity, and this electricity will lack of electricity stop everything, right? Or the water. What if a dam is get sabotaged? What will happen? The flow of the water will go to the villages and will create floods. In the defense sector, if a missile system gets activated automatically, what will happen? It will start the war between the two countries. So these are the critical infrastructures we need to get protected. And we have seen that what if it's not get protected, then it will get certain things. We have seen the economic loss of lives, national humiliation, and the infrastructure itself. So global governance in the cyberspace. We have seen that earlier that there is a convention or the treaty. Convention, the treaty for everything: biological weapons, chemical weapons, nuclear treaty. But don't have any specific treaty for the cybersecurity. And what is the current bottleneck? It is fragmented. Okay. So it becomes difficult for the coordination. There is no specific institutions get who is running the cybersecurity or the cyberspace. It is fragmented. We have seen, and the US dominates since the time of the internet inceptions. US is dominating, and the current rapid technological developments it outspaces. So how we can regulate this cybersecurity? So there is an urgent need to United Nations sponsored comprehensive global convention on the cyberspace to regulate the state behavior in the cyber warfare. In India, we have legal architecture. So Information Technology Act 1, we have this Information Technology Act. So it grants the Indian courts not just the domestic but international jurisdiction, right? If there is a crime committed within the India or the outside India, it grants jurisdiction to the Indian courts. And the section 70A, it specifically mandates the protection of critical information infrastructure. It is currently written here. It's a question of the prelims. Then in the 2013, a national cybersecurity policy was announced. It's a comprehensive policy to protect information infrastructure. So what we are focusing by this policy? A policy has been made to building the capacity. Building capacity means personal training or the cyber force, right? For ensuring the security of a country and the sustainable digital development. We are focusing currently on digitalization. In the criminal code amendments, we have done amendments to the IPC and the Indian Evidence Act. So, in the Indian Evidence Act, what we find, a digital evidence will be allowed, so it will automatically help the cybercrime investigation. A multi-layered institutional network coordinates the national defense system. So there is a CERTIN. What is the meaning of CERTIN? Computer Emergency Response Team, India. It was established in the 2004. So what will CERTIN will do? It will issue the alerts to the government and the private sector. It will analyze the intelligence. So what is going to happen in the future? And it will coordinate the emergency incident response. If there is a attack had happened, suppose, then it will start automatically coordinating. It will respond so that it can recover fast. And the second is National Cyber Coordination Center. So it screens the communication metadata, the data which are entering the country, to detect the real time cyber threats. For the real time cyber threats, National Cyber Coordination Center. I4C. What is I4C? Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. It is focusing in the domestic and the international area. And the sector specific, a specific sector for a CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team for the financial sector. And the example second is Cyber Warrior Police Force. So what are the public tools we are currently we have? Some of the examples which are given here. Cyber Swachhta Kendra. What is that Cyber Swachhta Kendra? A botnet cleaning and the malware analysis center which is working in the coordination with the various internet service providers. It is a malware analysis center which is coordinating with the internet service provider to analyze and clean the infected networks and the systems. There is another M-Kavach. It is an anti-virus security tool developed for the smartphones and the tablets so that our smartphones and the tablets don't get infected. USB. Suppose we are using the pen drives or the external devices, then for that USB Pratirodh. Then there is a AppSambit. It is an application whitelisting tool designed to ensure robust and the desktop security. So the app, suppose there is an applications which will be whitelisted. Or fifth, browser JS guard. What is this? It is an extension in the browser. If there is an extension which we allow this browser JS guard, it will block the malicious JavaScripts and the HTML files which are infected when we are using the web browsing. So currently, we have to see that is just an public sector or the private sector or the both have to participate in it. What I mean, only it is the responsibility of the government. A question has to be asked. Only responsibility of the government. Do you think so? No. If we look at the ownership telecom sector, it is entirely private almost except the BSNL or the MTNL. In the telecom sector, most of the service providers are the private sector. In the finance, 80% of the banking and the major stock exchanges are the private. Aviations and the energy heavily dominated by the private and the foreign corporate players. So what we see, private forms important part of the cyber security, right? So what is the strategic imperative? What we need to do? We need to involve the private sector with the public, and the certain techniques which we are using in the private sectors has to be transported to the or put in the public sector or the ministries or the government. So the coordination which is important. So public private partnership is necessary to protect the cyberspace. So what is a comprehensive action plan for the India's future cyber resilience? If you want to get resilience, a cyber security index need to be prepared. This index will get the data on the basis of what the preparedness a private sector and the government sector has. An index will be prepared. Incubate security research and development. We need to focus on research and development. For example, for the 6G, we have banned the China's Huawei company. So we need to develop our own research and development capabilities. A capacity building for any important thing to get have success, we need human resources. The security skills, the training, what we have given to the forces, establishing robust testing and the certification for the domestic hardware. So the for example, in Israel, what we have seen, a pager attack which they have done. If there is a domestic hardware certification center which get tested, so that type of incident doesn't get happen. And the diplomatic leadership, take a proactive leadership role in the international forums to advocate United Nations blocked cybersecurity convention. So this is the lecture about the cybersecurity which will be helpful to you in the GS mains. Hope please share, like and subscribe for the channel for the more important topics.